Hey everyone, it's the Amateur WebDev here, and this is my first YouTube video. Hopefully it does well. I'll be taking you from beginner to building real-world projects using PHP. In today's episode, we're going to be setting up a development environment. This basically means just installing PHP itself, setting up XAMPP to run the projects locally, and installing Composer, which is PHP's package manager. And we'll also be setting up a project structure which will include reusable includes, and it will be a structure that is professionally and well structured to keep everything clean and tidy and in one place. By the end of this episode, you'll be ready to start writing PHP code, so let's get started. So to actually get this project off the ground, we're going to actually need to install PHP itself. If you're on Windows, head to this website, php.net/download, and just download the latest stable version for Windows. You can view a tutorial on how to do that if you do get stuck or if you're questioning how to do it. Once it's downloaded, run the install file and extract it to your C drive, and then you'll need to add PHP to your system's path so that you can use it within the command line. To check that if PHP is installed correctly, open a terminal and just type this command prompt, php-v --v, and it will give you your PHP current installed version. Now that PHP is installed, we're going to be installing XAMPP, which is, like I said, just a local, just to enable a localhost or a local server to run your projects whilst it's in a development phase. To do this, come to this URL, apachefriends.org, and just click this install, and it'll download the file. Just set that up, and it will install XAMPP within your C drive, and we'll talk about setting up projects within that so that it can run on XAMPP. Once you've got XAMPP installed, you're going to want to open the control panel and just enable Apache so that you can actually view it on localhost within Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Next, we're going to install Composer. This is the PHP package manager, which just helps you manage PHP libraries and dependencies. To install this, just come to this page and click this link and run through the setup and follow the steps. After installing it, you can do the same again, checking if it's installed by checking the version. Open your terminal and type in Composer space -v, and it should list whatever you've got installed or whatever you can install. So currently I believe I've got PHP mailer installed, so that's that. Now, to set up your project folder, your directory, open your XAMPP installed folder, which should look something like this. Open your htdocs and create a folder in here, name it something like template or development, and I've named mine appropriately YouTube tutorial. This structure essentially helps keep our files organized and makes the project easier to manage as it grows, because it can get very, very large with a lot of files. So setting it up like I've got it here, so you'll have, if you have a config file or something to set up your server or emailing, you'll have a file within here. I've just currently got launch. That's to help with some email stuff. And you should have an assets folder that contains your CSS files, or a CSS folder with the CSS files within, a fonts folder, images folder, a JavaScript folder. Next, create a folder called includes, and in this folder we've got the application PHP file, which just contains script links for your local JavaScript or CSS files or external ones. And we've got your footer and header. So within the footer, obviously just got a footer, really bog standard, and in your header I've got a title, an include for the application PHP, and a navbar setup. And finally, just to create a landing page, create an index.php file and create it similarly to this, or just basically copy it. This will essentially enable it to look like this. So if you have a logo within assets images, logo.png or JPEG, it will appear here if you've copied it how I've got it. And obviously you've got your links, a call to action, standard title, footer, header. That's it for today. Now you have PHP, XAMPP and Composer installed if done correctly. Like I said, follow a tutorial, which is probably the best idea if you haven't been able to install it like I have shown you. And you've also got a solid project structure ready to go. In the next episode, we'll start coding in PHP, learning about variables, loops and handling user input. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe and turn on noties so you don't miss it. Also, check out my Linktree in the description for extra resources, my socials and useful PHP tools. Also, I'm considering setting up a Discord server where everybody can basically come together. I can share my projects and you can view them and basically take inspiration or even the source code from that and apply it to your own work. And essentially it's a community where people can just talk to each other, share their own projects or get in touch, help each other out, and it's going to be a tight-knit community. So if that is something that you would want to see, let me know and I'll get that set up. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next episode.